Alright everyone, welcome back to another review, and this time I'm going to be reviewing the very first Jeepers Creepers movie. I remember seeing this thing when I was 11 years old in the movie theaters with my father and my sister. I remember we got to the scene where we just got up to the cat lady, and before we can even see the scene play out, my father took us out of the theater because my sister got scared and she wanted to leave, and so we left. I didn't end up finishing this movie until I actually bought the DVD when it came out months later. But yeah, that's how scary this movie was to my sister. Now, to me, I wasn't really scared by it, but I admire it. I give it a lot of credit for being a throwback to those old school monster movies, and the creeper itself has a very cool look with the jacket and the hat and the overall makeup design. It's a very unique creature look, and I actually like it a lot. I really like the design of the creature, of the creeper. I think it looks pretty damn cool and has a very iconic look to it. And this movie overall, this first movie, it is a well-directed, well-written little monster movie, which has, Justin Long and Gina Phillips. And I like how this cast primarily consists of those two, brother and sister, Derry and Trish Jenner. And I like the chemistry between Justin Long and Gina Phillips. I mean, there are some scenes where can be kind of annoying, especially when they're bickering, but there are also some scenes, like when they're actually in survival mode, where I think their chemistry really shines through. And I like that. I like it a lot. I like Victor Salva's directing. I think Victor Salva, directs this movie directs this movie fairly well. He has a very good visual style. It's very simple. It's not flashy or anything like that. The production value of this movie is good. The use of practical effects is always top notch. Of course, there's some CG thrown in there, but there are certain scenes where you need to have CG, especially when we find out that more about the creeper. Excuse me. So yeah, all that's good. And like I said, production value by itself is also fairly well done. Especially the creeper's house of pain, which is in the cellar of this old church, and it's just nothing but dead bodies, nailed and plastered all over the place, and it's a grisly sight. It's a grisly sight to behold, and it's definitely one of those iconic, haunted house type of things, which is great, because once you see it, it stays with you. Just seeing these bodies that look like petrified wood, as Derry said in the movie. It stays with you. It really fucks you up too. I like that this movie does not have an over-reliance on gore, which is really good. Of course, there's some scenes, there's this one scene where the creeper rips this guy's head off. There's another scene where he pretty much pulls out this guy's heart, and there's one part where you see him eat this guy's hand. But it doesn't dwell on it, which I can appreciate for a movie like this. This movie is more about building suspense and building tension than it is about revealing the creature, because you don't see the creeper until the very end of the movie. That's where you get a full look at this thing. Throughout the entire time, it's the truck that he drives, which is what puts you on edge. This big decrepit truck that goes at 100 miles an hour, and you hear that, which is really the first introduction of the creeper himself. Trish and Derry are driving down this highway, and all of a sudden they're being chased by this massive truck, which nearly runs them off the road. And that truck itself has become iconic unto itself. If you're on a deserted highway and you see that truck, you better fucking bolt as fast as you can, because that means your shit is in trouble. And I like the whole concept of this whole every 23 years for 23 days it gets to come back and eat. I like that whole thing because it kind of puts anything on a sequel on hold. It's the only way you're going to get a sequel is if you do this thing 23 years into the future. Which I kind of appreciate that. Not every horror movie needs to have a sequel, especially a movie like this, because unless you're exploring the origins of the creeper, a sequel is going to be really hard to pull off because you're just rinsing and repeating. But put all that aside. As a standalone movie, this thing is exceptionally solid. Like I said, production value is good. The directing to me is on point. The writing, for the most part, is well done. The acting between Justin Long and Gina Phillips is one of the greatest strengths. This is a strength of this movie. The character, there's also like this other character in this movie called Joe. It's like a sidekick who pretty much can, I guess you could say, dream when certain things are about to happen. And her scenes are peppered throughout the movie, and she tries to help Trish and Derry, avoid the creeper and try to survive. Of course, for those of you who've seen this movie, we all know that it's not the case. And I like the fact that this movie does not have a happy ending. It has a very somber ending. It has the ending of like the creeper got what he wanted. He took his victim and flew off into the sunset and flew off into the full moon sky, which he does. So yeah, overall, really like this movie. I think I agree with everyone else where I think it is one of the better horror movies to come out in a very long time, especially from by 2001 standard. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, as an overall ranking, I give it a solid. I'm gonna give a solid 8 out of 10. Very good horror movie, very good monster movie, tight direction, good casting, and for the most part, decent writing. Victor Salva, I think, did a pretty good job at creating a new horror icon in the Creeper. Well, that's all I got to say about that. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.